Hello friends, welcome to YouTube classes. See, in regular classes we have discussed about electric charges, electrification and basic properties of electric charges. See, next we will be going for a concept called as Coulomb's law, which is one of the most important concepts in this chapter. And there will be a number of numerical problems on this. So we'll go for Coulomb's law. See, Coulomb's law means it is the law which gives us the expression for force between any 2 point charges. It gives us the expression for force between any 2 point charges. See, in first year we have already studied about a force called a gravitational force in a chapter called gravitation, which tells us about a gravitational force of attraction between any two bodies which are having certain masses. In first year we have studied if two bodies of masses m1 and m2, then there will be a force of attraction between them. That force of attraction is given by F is equal to G m1 into m2 divided by r square. What is this? This is gravitational force of attraction between any two bodies in universe. It is called universal law of gravitation, which is given by Newton, which is also called Newton's law of gravitation. Same, if any two bodies of masses m1 and m2 are at a certain separation called r in between them, then the force of attraction between them, which is called gravitational force, is given by F is equal to G m1 into m2 divided by r square. See, I am calling it as force of attraction. It means gravitational force is force of attraction. It is not force of repulsion. It will always be attractive in nature. It will never be repulsive in nature. Well, this is all about first year. That is, we have discussed in gravitation in first year chapter. Next, now what force we are going to study is, that is force between two charged bodies. This was the force between two bodies of certain masses which are separated by a certain distance. Okay, but now we are going to study about force between two charged bodies or 2 point charges. Okay, that is what we are going to know in Coulomb's law. So let us go for statement of Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law states that the force of attraction or repulsion, between 2 point charges separated by a certain distance, is directly proportional to product of magnitude of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. This is the statement of Coulomb's law. Okay, we'll in detail study about this statement now. See, let us consider 2 point charges here. Let this be the first charge, I will call it as Q1, and let this be the second charge, we'll call it as Q2. Okay, so these are the 2 point charges, Q1 and Q2. These 2 point charges are separated by a distance called as R. The separation between the charges is R. Okay, this is the separation between the charges now. See, if there are 2 point charges and if these two charges are like charges, like means either both are positive or both are negative. If both the charges are like charges, then there will be a force of repulsion between them, because we know by the basic properties of electric charges that like charges will repel and unlike charges will attract. So if these both are like charges, then there will be a force of repulsion. If these both are unlike charges, then there will be a force of attraction. This both force of attraction and force of repulsion is given by Coulomb's law only. Okay, so that force which is acting in between these 2 point charges, either force of attraction or repulsion, is given by F. F means what? It is the force of attraction or repulsion between the 2 point charges. If they are like charges, it is said to be repulsive force. If they are unlike charges, it is said to be attractive force. Okay, so the force of attraction between any 2 point charges, according to the statement of Coulomb's law, the force of attraction or repulsion between any 2 point charges is directly proportional to the magnitude of product of two charges. Directly proportional to the magnitude of product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Distance between them is r. So it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So force of attraction or repulsion between any 2 point charges separated by a certain distance is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Casually we know that if in any equation, if we remove the proportionality symbol and if we introduce the equality symbol, we get a constant called as proportionality constant. Okay, let us introduce that constant here, that is K. F is equal to K Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. Fine. Well, then what is this K now? This K is a proportionality constant which is called as electrostatic force constant. Electrostatic force constant. Okay, that is K. Well, then this K will be having an expression called K is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. That is the value of K, which is called electrostatic force constant. Okay, we'll introduce that K here. So F will be equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. Fine. So this is said to be the expression of force of attraction or repulsion between the 2 point charges by Coulomb's law. Well, see, here we have taken K means electrostatic force constant and its expression is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Value of this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, I mean the value of K is 9 into 10 raised to 9, 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So this is the value of K. Well, we got to know what is K as well as the value of K. Here, in the expression of K, we have come across a term called as epsilon naught. So what is this epsilon naught? We have to discuss about this epsilon naught now. We'll see what is epsilon naught. See, epsilon naught means it is called absolute permittivity, which is called absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity of free space. Absolute permittivity of free space. So what is absolute permittivity of free space? Free space means what? Vacuum. Okay, that is said to be free space. So epsilon naught means absolute permittivity of free space. It means it is permittivity. Permittivity. Permittivity means what? Permittivity means it is the property of the medium which influences, which affects the force between any 2 point charges. So I will tell you what is this. See, if I consider 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a certain distance, let me say it is 2 meters in air now. This is said to be in air. Okay. Well, now the force between these 2 point charges, let us assume that the force between these 2 point charges is said to be 5 Newton now. Okay, there is a force of attraction or repulsion between them, and now the force is 5 Newton. If the same 2 point charges are separated by the same distance, and just the medium is changed now. We are not taking an air medium, we have taken some other medium now. Other medium means we can take oil or we can take water. Okay, such type of medium we have taken here. Just we have shifted from air to some other medium. Charges are same, distance between the charges is same, but the force between the 2 charges will be affected now. The force between 2 charges will be affected. It will not be same 5 Newton now because we have changed the medium. So the force may get reduced now. It may become 3 Newton. The force may get reduced. It may become 3 Newton. Why the force has got reduced now? Why the force has got affected? It has got affected only because of the medium, by the change of medium. It means if we introduce any medium in between the 2 charges, then the force will get reduced. If we introduce glass, it will be less than air. If we introduce metal plate, then it will become 0. It will get vanished. Okay, that's why permittivity means it is the quantity, it is the term which tells us how much the force between the 2 charges is affected by the presence of the medium in between them. The name permittivity itself tells us that permittivity means simply we can say it is permission given by the medium for the interaction between the 2 charges, exerting the forces on each other. That is interaction. So this permittivity means it tells us about how much permission is given by the medium to exert the forces on each other by the charges. Okay, that is permittivity. So permittivity is the quantity or it is the property of the medium which tells us about the influence of the medium on the force between the 2 charges. It determines the force between the 2 charges. That is said to be permittivity. Well, we got to know about permittivity now. Then, what is the value of this permittivity? See, we got to know what is permittivity, and here we have written as epsilon naught. Epsilon naught means it is absolute permittivity of free space. There is a standard value for this. permittivity of free space, absolute permittivity of free space, that is epsilon naught. So it will be 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb square per Newton per meter square. So this is said to be the value of epsilon, permittivity of free space. See, we should be knowing these standard values clearly. Okay, in all the problems, next what we are going to solve the problems from Coulomb's law. In all those problems, instead of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, in the formula, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, Q1 into Q2 by R square. Instead of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, you can directly substitute 9 into 10 raised to 9 in that place. And you can go on solving the problems. Is this clear? Right. Well, we got to know about Coulomb's law. See, there are some limitations for Coulomb's law. Okay. Coulomb's law will be valid. Coulomb's law will be valid only when the point charges which we have taken are stationary. Stationary means static. This is electrostatics branch. We are studying only about the charges which are at rest. Electrostatic. Static means rest. So for Coulomb's law to be applied, the two charges which we are taking here should be stationary. Stationary means they should be at rest. They should not be moving. Okay. So the first limitation is the charges must be static charges. The charges must be static charges to apply this Coulomb's law. Then only Coulomb's law will be valid. Okay. Second limitation is the two charges must be point charges. Point charges in the sense we already discussed about point charges. Point charges means the charges which are very small compared to the separation between them. Then they are said to be point charges. So the two charges must be point charges and they have to be static. Then only we can apply Coulomb's law. And third limitation is the separation between the two charges. The separation between the two charges must be greater than the nuclear sizes of the two charges. Nuclear size means it has 10 raised to minus 15 meter. So it should be greater than nuclear sizes. That's why the separation should be greater than the nuclear sizes. Then only the Coulomb's law can be applied. If they are very close or less than that nuclear size, then we cannot apply that Coulomb's law. Okay, these are the limitations of Coulomb's law. Okay, see, according to Coulomb's law, the force of attraction or repulsion between any two point charges which are separated by a certain distance r is given by F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. See, this is the force between the two point charges Q1 and Q2 separated by distance r. But in which medium? In vacuum. This is in vacuum. Fine. See, when the two point charges are separated by a certain distance in vacuum, the expression is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Epsilon naught. Absolute permittivity of free space. Free space means vacuum. Okay, Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. If the same two charges are separated by the same distance in some other medium, okay, in some other medium, we are not taking vacuum now, we are taking a certain medium, then the force between the two point charges is now given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon r into epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. Fine. So here we have introduced one more term called as epsilon r. Then what is this epsilon r? Epsilon r is called relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. This relative permittivity is sometimes also represented by K, either K or epsilon r. Then what is this relative permittivity? We have already discussed it. Relative permittivity means it is the ratio of force between the two point charges separated by a certain distance in vacuum to the force between the same two charges separated by a certain distance in a medium. Okay, that is said to be relative permittivity. Okay, well, see, few examples. Relative permittivity of vacuum. Okay, first one is relative permittivity of vacuum. We know that relative permittivity for vacuum is 1. Relative permittivity of air. Relative permittivity of air is 1.00054, which will be taken as 1 only. So either the two charges are in vacuum or in air. No difference. We have to take epsilon r as 1 only. The relative permittivity of water. Relative permittivity of water will be 80. Relative permittivity of water will be 80. See, permittivity of vacuum is 1, air is also 1, and water is 80. Okay, these are the relative permittivities. See, it means we have defined it as it is the ratio of force between the two point charges separated by a certain distance in vacuum to the force between the same two charges separated by the same distance in other medium. Fv divided by Fm. This is relative permittivity. Okay, we can also say relative permittivity means it is the ratio of permittivity of a medium to the permittivity of free space, absolute permittivity of free space. So absolute permittivity of free space means epsilon naught. Here epsilon m will be equal to epsilon r into epsilon naught. Next we'll go for vector form of Coulomb's law. Say many questions in many question papers, the vector form of Coulomb's law has been asked. So we'll go for vector form of Coulomb's law. See, we already know if there are two charges now, Q1 and Q2, point charges which are static, then if they are like charges, then there will be a force of repulsion between them. If they are unlike charges, then there will be a force of attraction between them. See, in this first case, let us consider both Q1 and Q2 are like charges. Like charges means both are positive or both are negative. So we'll consider it as like charges now. So both the charges which we have taken here are like charges. Like charges means the product of both the charges will be greater than 0. Okay, plus Q1 into plus Q2 will also be greater than 0. Minus Q1 into minus Q2 will also be greater than 0. See, when two charges are like charges, then there will be a force of repulsion between them. They will not get attracted towards each other. They will get repelled away from each other. It means the distance between them will start increasing. Okay, they have to get repelled. It means, see, there will be a force acting on Q2 by Q1, and also there will be a force acting on Q1 by Q2. Means these are equal and opposite forces. A pair of forces are acting here. Okay, so the force which is acting on Q2 by Q1 is represented in this direction. Okay, and I will name it as F21. F21 means it is the force acting on second charge by first charge. Why I am showing the direction in this way? Because this is repulsive force now. It should not move close to the first charge. It has to move away from the first charge. Repulsion means what? It should push away. That's why the force acting on second charge due to the first charge is F21. Similarly, the same equal force will be acted on Q1. They will be in action-reaction pair. So F21 is the force acting on Q2 by Q1. Then the same and equal opposite charge force will be acting on Q1 also now. Q1 is applying a force on Q2 which is named as F21. There will be an equal and opposite force acting on Q1 due to Q2, and I will name this as F12. So F12 is the force acting on Q1 due to Q2. F21 is the force acting on Q2 due to Q1. Okay, and we are showing it away from each other because these both are like charges and there will be a force of repulsion between them. To show that repulsion, we are showing the direction of forces in this way. And one more thing, you should remember this very clearly, you should know this very clearly. Whatever the forces we are showing here, these forces must be along the straight line joining the two charges only. I cannot show these forces in this way or in this way. I cannot show in some other direction. I have to show it along the straight line joining the two charges because this Coulomb's force is a central force. Central force means it will always be acting along a line joining the centers of the two charged bodies. That's why we have to show the forces along the straight line joining the 2 point charges only. We cannot show in some other direction. Well, see, now I will write the expression for the force F21. Okay, we'll write it in the vector form. I am showing the vector notation here. Okay, vector F21. See, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2, these are the 2 point charges separated by distance r, so we'll take it as r square. See, when you introduce a vector notation here, at that time, we have to take a unit vector in that direction. Okay, let r cap be the unit vector in the direction of F21. So when I introduce the vector notation here, at that time I should introduce a unit vector here which will be along the direction of F21. So this is vector form of Coulomb's law. Vector form means we should write it in vector notation and there should be a unit vector here. If you don't put a vector notation here, if you won't put a vector notation here, then you cannot write this unit vector here. Until and unless you write a unit vector, you cannot put the vector notation here. Okay, so this is the vector form of Coulomb's law. Well, this is in case of like charges. We'll go for unlike charges now. Second one is unlike charges. So what if the charges are unlike, if the charges are like, then there will be a force of repulsion. If the charges are unlike, then there will be a force of attraction. Okay, so we are going to know about unlike charges now. Unlike charges means one is positive, another one is negative. That's why the product of Q1 and Q2 will be less than 0 here. Okay, well, see, next, let us consider the two unlike charges here. One is plus Q1 and another one is plus Q. So these are minus Q. So these are the 2 point charges. Let the separation between them be R. Separation between these two charges is R. Okay. See, here we have taken two unlike charges. Unlike charges means there should be force of attraction between them. So force of attraction means it will be dragging the charges towards each other. It will not be pushing away. It will be dragging the charges towards each other. That's why what we have to show. We have to show the forces in this direction. See, let us say there is a force acting on Q2 by Q1, and that force will be acting in this direction. Now, this is the force. I will name it as F21. F21 means it is force acting on second charge due to first charge. Similarly, there should be an equal and opposite force acting on Q1, because these forces will be in action and reaction pair. That's why the force acting on Q1 due to Q2 will be in this direction. I will name it as F12. Okay, F21 is the force acting on second charge due to first charge. F12 is the force acting on first charge due to the second charge. And here we are showing the forces in this way. Again, the forces are shown along the straight line joining the two charges only. Yes or no? Because these are central forces. That's why the F12 and F21 are shown along the straight line joining the two forces. Since both are unlike charges, there will be a force of attraction between them. That's why we are showing the forces in this direction. Remember, force of attraction means this force will be bringing the charges towards each other. That's why we show the forces in this way. Force of repulsion means this force will be dragging the charges away from each other. That's why we show them in this way. Okay, we'll write the expression. See, again I will write the F21 equation. Again we'll take the unit vector in this direction as usual, and we'll write the expression for F21. See, F21 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 divided by R squared. Now this is not the vector form. This is scalar form. We have just written magnitude. Okay, if you want to write the vector form, if you want to write it in vector notation, we have to introduce a unit vector here, and I will introduce that unit vector here R cap. But look at the direction. Here the direction of unit vector and direction of F21 both were same. That's why we took it positive. But here the direction of unit vector and direction of F21 both are opposite here. Okay, that's why what we have to do, we should take this R negative. It is not in the direction of F21. Hence, this F21 can be written as vector F21 is equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 divided by R square R cap. Well, this is said to be the vector form of Coulomb's law. Okay.